Well, hey everyone, my name is Nathan Jones, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about all things movies, specifically Blu-rays, and today we're going to be doing a massive Blu-ray haul. There are continuous sales going on, and there's a lot that are still arriving at my home, but here are some things that I've been picking up for the month of October, and I just want to showcase with you some of those titles, and I've also have a few things that I've been watching, and I'll be doing that in a video next time. The next video I'm going to be doing is going to be my October watch list, and it's going to be really exciting because I'm really excited to share with you what I've been watching for this month. But with that being said, I know recently I talked a little bit about movie Burnout, and the last time I really talked to the camera about that was in a video that I posted, and I want to say since then I've had luckily, you know, it was a very short-lived kind of feeling of not wanting to watch movies. And luckily, reading your comments and reading your stories and the shared experiences that you have with this thing that happens to a lot of us, I feel like it's not just with movies, right? It's burnout happens with a lot of things that we enjoy, and then we have to step away from it, do other things, occupy our time with other things and other things that matter, and then come back to it and we can find that love again. And that's kind of what happened over the last week. And it's been really, really wonderful, and I want to say thank you all for those who watched that movie, for those who watched that video. It meant a lot to me. So with that being said, I want to showcase with you what I picked up for the month of October, and first and foremost, there's going to be some Scream Factories. All right, so this actually is kind of an update on one of my more recent hauls. Actually, last time I did a haul, I believe, that I did talk about these Halloween 4Ks from Scream Factory. I finally have all 5, and I'm super, super excited about it because I've been going through them. And honestly, I will talk more about these films as we do a video the next video after this is where I'm going to be really deep diving on what I've been watching for the Halloween season. But I did want to have a brief update on that. I got all 5 of the Halloweens. The third one was the last one that I needed. It was the most expensive one, and you know, it's worth that because Season of the Witch is incredible, and it also is one of those movies that is like outside of the Halloween franchise and its own thing, and it's become such a cult phenomenon now, and I'm super happy to have it now on 4K. So anyway, I got these 5 titles. I hope that you're able to pick these up, these Scream Factory editions right here, because they are really wonderful, and they are excellent 4K scans from Dean Cundy, who was the cinematographer. And there's also new Dolby Atmos tracks for these as well. So I'm very, very excited to have these particular releases. And so if you haven't got them, I hope that they're available wherever you're at because they're incredible. All right, so moving right along with some other Scream Factories, I also picked up this, which actually was at my local Best Buy. I was looking for other titles, but I found John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness on 4K. And I saw this was like, I think for around $20, and I'm like, that's a decent deal for here. And I've never seen Prince of Darkness, and I've been on a John Carpenter kick, so I can't wait to watch this one. Have any of you seen this one? I definitely saw on Blu-ray.com that this has some high marks, so it's definitely a good release, and it's a good scan of it. So it seems like Scream Factory is hitting it out of the park with some of these 4Ks, and I'm super happy that they are because, you know, these 4K, I was definitely, you know, for the last few years, I was definitely a little hesitant to jump into this market, and now it's slowly become like the format that I'm really wanting to see more releases in. So very excited about that, very happy to see these treatments, and I really hope that it's done in the right way. But yes, Prince of Darkness, excited for this one, love John Carpenter. It's a lot of John Carpenter love, because the next thing that I picked up also was a Blu-ray, and I actually picked this up before this sale happened. The Scream Factory Shocktober sale just recently happened. I think it's still going on maybe as I'm recording this, but I put some orders in, but I didn't order this there, so I ordered this on my own, In the Mouth of Madness, and this is with Sam Neill, and I've heard this is just amazing. So yes, these are two John Carpenter titles I have never seen before. I know, and these are some of the best ones. You know, at least this one I've heard is incredible. But I've loved everything I've seen from John Carpenter, and you know, I'm just super excited to watch these titles for the first time. And so, what do you think about these movies? Tell me down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on these. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is actually a really big deal, and one that I was putting off buying, but because I saw this was on sale, and on Amazon, and it was going for a really good price. And then also, I'm like, you know what, I definitely want to see more of these films, because I've seen I've seen the first movie and I've seen part 6. What can I be talking about? I finally picked up Friday the 13th, the Scream Factory box set right here, and man, like I've had so many friends talk about this set, and I have a lot of friends who do have it, and they really, really love it. And as somebody who is like, you know, a light Friday the 13th fan, as somebody who is starting to get a little bit more into slasher films, into the schlocky, like fun time, like crazy, crazy movies that these movies are, I'm starting to really enjoy them, and I'm starting to appreciate them a lot more. So these are definitely, you know, things that I wanted to have in my collection. And so I was able to pick this up because I believe, as we speak right now, maybe Amazon's either like really low stock on them, or it's like jacked up the price back to its like normal MSRP price, which I think that's a sign of it's going out of print soon. So I was able to snag myself a copy, and this is actually a really good edition. So definitely, like the box is almost pristine. I haven't even opened it yet, but I haven't checked the discs themselves, but the box itself looks really, really incredible. So I'm late to the party on this one, and I know that, but you know, 'tis the season. It's October, and so I might as well get all these horror movies right now, even though I'm probably not going to watch them for a little bit, because that's just kind of how things are going right now. Too many things to watch, and I know you have that problem too. All right, so now we're taking a slight break away from the horror to talk about a DVD collection that I picked up. And this is actually one of my favorite shows, and it's one that I discovered this year. My best friend, who lives up in Canada right now, he and I started watching this show together, and we are just in love with this, because we're in love with Matt Berry. And Matt Berry, he was in What We Do in the Shadows. He still is in that, and that's the current show he's in. And this is, you know, something that I've just grown to love. And now it was on Netflix for a while, and that's how I was actually able to see it. But funnily enough, I actually ordered this set because I love this show so much, but they took it off Netflix that very day, and I didn't even know that. But I'm talking about Toast of London right here. And Toast of London is an incredible Channel 4 series right here. You know, it's a BAFTA award-winning show. It's just super funny. So if you're into British comedy, and definitely like really absurd kind of British comedy, I think you're going to really enjoy this. And it's definitely my type of humor, and it's definitely one of the shows that has like bring me the most joy over like the last year, because this is just nonstop funny, and it's so rewatchable as well. It's so quotable, and Matt Berry is just such a lovable oaf. That it's such a refreshing thing to see. And so I'm really bummed that this is not on Netflix anymore. I hope it does return, at least to the US Netflix. But I will say this is a Region 2 DVD, so that means you have to have a Region Free player, or you have to be in Region B or Region 2, which is, you know, the UK and such. So this is definitely a show I highly recommend. So if you are a fan of British shows, but also a fan of British comedy, this is definitely like top tier. It's one of my favorite things I've ever discovered in the past year, and I rewatched this over and over and over again. And then, you know, this is a very short show. A lot of these Channel 4 and BBC related type of shows, they're not that long. They're like 5 or 6 episodes, and they're like 30 minutes each. So highly rewatchable, highly digestible as well. Highly recommend Toast of London if you haven't seen it. It's a great time, as Matt Berry would say. But I'm not very good at British accents, so don't knock me on that one. All right, so moving right along from there, these next 2 titles were actually on sale on Amazon. I believe it was a buy 2 get 1 free, but I can't for the life of me remember what the third thing that I got was. Or it was, I got something for free. But regardless, I bought these 2 4Ks, and one of them I upgraded, and one was the first time I've ever owned this movie. And the one that I upgraded actually was Stanley Kubrick's Clockwork Orange. And I have heard really fantastic things. My good friend Sam, film blogger Sam, he has a really excellent edition of this, where the scan looks really, really great. And I was also able to see this movie, the 4K scan, at my local theater last month. And so that actually also prompted me in buying it, because it looked really, really fantastic. And I definitely wanted to upgrade this wonderful, wonderful film. Well, wonderful might be not the right adjective to say. It's a very crazy film, and if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Clockwork Orange, incredible film. Very happy to have it on 4K. I think it was banned in the UK up until like I think 10 or 15 years after it was released, which is just insane. But anyway, a Clockwork Orange on 4K. Had to get that because it was on sale. And then the other thing I got on 4K, which was on sale, is the first time I've seen this one. And honestly, it took me a little bit of convincing to buy it myself. But I do like epics, and I do enjoy them. And I know I'm going to find myself in a time where I'm going to want to watch this. But I got Cecil B. DeMille's The 10 Commandments right here on 4K. And I've actually heard really fantastic things about this release and also this 4K. So that was another plus for me to buy it and to make sure that I can look at it. I really love that they're releasing these types of films, ones that are like shot on like 35 millimeter on film itself, because they look really great on 4K. And, I was definitely one of those people, like I was saying earlier with those Scream Factory Halloween releases. I wasn't convinced until, depending on the company and depending on who's making the scan and like who's treating it, that really does make a big difference. So do your research when you're buying these things. That way you can actually get, what you paid for, right? All right, so the next bit of titles are all going to be a speed run. It's going to be a very quick one because these are all films that I got from the Kino Lorber Shocktober sale. It was the first to arrive because it was like the fastest shipping. I love Kino Lorber because they're just so efficient about it. So I actually picked up a few things. So I have a good stack here. So I'll first talk about these two Cohen film collection releases. Actually, I didn't realize that the Cohen film were bought out by Kino. I forgot that they were collaboration together. But I actually picked up two things from the Merchant Ivory library, right? So these are directed by James Ivory. And I'm really, really excited to look at these because I've really enjoyed the James Ivory films that I've seen so far, like Howard's End and Call Me By Your Name, which he wrote. But anyway, I'm talking about the Europeans right here, and I'm also talking about Maurice right here. And Maurice has James Willoughby, Hugh Grant, and Rupert Graves. And it has a 4K scan right here, the new 30th anniversary of this. This is the 40th anniversary restoration of the Europeans. And this has Lee Remick, Robin Ellis, Wesley Addy, Tim Chote, and Elisa Eckhorn. But I'm very excited about these films. I've loved the things that I've seen so far, like I said, from James Ivory and the Merchant Ivory collection. So super excited about that. Cohen hasn't really messed up anything so far. I've really loved everything that they've put out. So I'm very happy to have those from them. The next film that I picked up was a surprise from Kino Lorber. I didn't know that they put this out, but this is actually the first film from Yorgos Lanthimos, who I am a huge fan of, the Greek director. His first film was Dogtooth, which I've never seen before, and when I saw it, I was like, is that what I think it is? And then I ordered it because I definitely wanted to pick this one up. I really love The Lobster and The Favourite and other films that he's put out that I'm blanking on. It's like right there. It's another Colin Farrell film. It's like right there, and I can't remember it. Tell me what it is in the comment section down below. I'm going to guess it before you write it down in the comment section, hopefully, but I'm probably not. Anyway, next is a film by Alexander Sokurov, and is actually, I was introduced to this film from the Mark Cousins Story of Film documentary that I recently watched, and this was actually a film that they talked about in one of the latter episodes. I'm talking about the Russian Ark right here. And apparently this is, let's see, it is a 96-minute tracking shot through the halls of the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia. Wow. One continuous 96-minute shot. And the shot that was shown in the documentary was just, yeah, I'm very ready for this, and I'm very happy to have this movie. This came out in, let's see, 2002. So, it's almost 20 years old, which is insane. But I'm so happy that I have a copy of this, and because I knew nothing about it, right? So hopefully you can pick that up on your own Shocktober sale. All right, next is a Bela Lugosi Kino Lorber title from the Kino Classics lineup, and I'm talking about White Zombie right here. I've heard some good things about this film. Bela Lugosi is definitely a selling point. I definitely need to do a little bit more research when I buy some Bela Lugosi stuff, but for the most part, like these B titles that are like 67 minutes. This is from 1932. These are definitely right up my alley and something I can watch on like a late night and enjoy every minute of it. So White Zombie, have you seen it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Next is a Mario Bava film, and this is from the Mario Bava collection in the Kino Classics line, and it is Bay of Blood right here. I haven't seen this. It looks like a giallo of sorts, of course. This came out in 1971. And yeah, I'm just super excited for it. Looks like a lot of fun. Kind of goes, in the same mindset as what I've been kind of watching lately with Halloween and Friday the 13th. And I need to add some Giallo films into that too. All right, so these next titles are all in the Kino Studio Classic lineup. The first one is actually a Martin Scorsese film, and one that I've had on my radar for a long time, but just because of the price, I just never picked it up. And I'm talking about Kundun. I hope I said that correctly. It's about the Dalai Lama. I've heard really fantastic things about this. I think most recently, my friend Steph, Movie Chatter, she talked about it and how she enjoyed this film quite a bit. And I'm definitely trying to complete my Scorsese collection, because everything that I've seen him do has been good to great to amazing, right? So I know that Kundun is definitely one of his films that has been talked about a lot. So I'm excited for that one. Next is the film with Bob Hope and Paulette Goddard, and I'm talking about The Cat and the Canary. And this actually came up in my mind when I was watching a lot of the special features talking about cat people and a few of the Hammer horror releases. And I believe that, I want to say, I'm just blanking on names today. It's either Kat Ellinger or Kim Newman, who was talking a little bit about The Cat and the Canary, and a movie that you should check out. But this is from 1939. It's 75 minutes long, and it's a comedy thriller. So very excited about that one. Looks like a lot of fun. Next is a film directed by Ida Lupino, and that's definitely one I think is another film that actually was talked about in that Mark Cousins Story of Film documentary. And I'm talking about The Hitchhiker. There was actually a really cool opening shot from this film that drew me in. And also just the fact that Ida Lupino directed this, which there wasn't at this time, this is 1953. There weren't very many female directors at this time, because a lot of the female directors before it were like writers and people who kind of worked behind the scenes, right? So they weren't really directors. They weren't really cast as that. So I'm really excited to check this one out. It's starring Frank Lovejoy, Edmund O'Brien, and William Talman. And yeah, I'm just excited about this one. 71 minutes. That's nice and short, and right up my alley. So this next film I'm going to talk about is one that I've actually had on DVD, but I still haven't seen it, which is kind of crazy. It's a Jem Jarmusch film, and it's starring Bill Murray. It's from 2005, and it also has Jeffrey Wright in it, Sharon Stone, Frances Conroy, Jessica Lange, Tilda Swinton, Julie Delphi. That's such an insane lineup. I'm talking about Broken Flowers right here, and there's Bill Murray on the cover right there. Like I said, the DVD, gonna get rid of that one now that I have the Blu-ray that came out on Kino not that long ago. So really great addition there. Next is a film that looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a good combination of all my favorite horror people in here, and I'm talking about The House of Long Shadows right here. This has Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, John Carradine, and Aziz Arnaz Jr. Man, what a lineup of people. This looks like a lot of fun. From 1983, definitely latter part of some of these guys' career, but I'm super excited about it. It's a new remaster in HD. Very happy that Kino put this out. And then the last film that I'm going to talk about here is one that has like multiple names, and is definitely a fun film that one of my blind spots from this director, because apparently this director didn't do very much, I don't think. Could be wrong here, but this is directed by Sergio Leone, and I'm talking about Duck You Sucker, or A Fistful of Dynamite, and very excited about this one. This has James Coburn and Rod Steiger in it. It also has Romuald Valley, and I've just heard so many fun things about this film. And it's about time. It's about time I own this, and I know this is out on a few different labels. I think Eureka put it out as well, but I decided to finally pick it up, and I did, and I'm very happy about that. All right, and so this last title that I want to show you is actually a collection of films, and is very, very excited about this. This is actually one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I was so happy when this was announced. I was kind of blown away because I didn't expect this to be even coming over to the States at all, because this is actually from Imprint, so it is an Australian label. It is collaborations, the cinema of Zhang Yimou and Gong Li. So I have loved Zhang Yimou for the last maybe 3 or 4 years, more so, because I had seen Hero a long time ago with Jet Li, of course, and then I also watched The Curse of the Golden Flower, and then most recently I watched Shadow, and I also saw the Great Wall, which happened a few years ago, maybe in 2016. The Great Wall maybe being the lesser of all those movies I just mentioned, but this right here, Zhang Yimou, is a Chinese director who's put out some fantastic films, and this box set from Imprint I cannot wait to see this. Pardon my pronunciation. I know I have been to China, but I'm probably still going to say these things wrong. So red sorghum, Zhu Du, I hope I said that right. Raise the Red Lantern, the story of Kui Ju, To Live, Shanghai Triad, Curse of the Golden Flower, and Coming Home. And so I've only seen Curse of the Golden Flower out of this set, but I'm very, very happy to own this box set from Imprint. And I will say, so Imprint is definitely a label that I try my best to figure out if I need to really order it or not, because the shipping, it can really be an arm and a leg. And so I was able to get this from them because I really, really cared about this movie, this set. I really wanted it. But definitely, you don't need to rush for this one. It's definitely one that I think for people who want to watch more cinema, especially like Chinese cinema, I think this is a huge release because we don't really have very many Chinese releases out there. So I'm very excited about this one. And also, yeah, I would just love to hear your thoughts on anyone who gets this set because it looks incredible, and I can't wait to dive into it. And I know I'm gonna love it. I've already had people tell me who have seen most of the movies that like, no, you're gonna like it. Some of my friends, and I'm like, okay, cannot wait. So that is what I got for the month of October. There is so many films coming on the way from all these sales that have happened recently, from Indicator's fifth anniversary, and Criterion's like right around the corner. I know there was a 24-hour flash sale that happened. Scream Factory, Kino Lorber, they're all having sales, right? So anyway, what have you been picking up for October? What have you been watching for October? Maybe I should ask that next time in my next video. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can see that I'm actually very excited to watch these films, and I eventually will and talk about them on the channel. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Share, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.